Hi, yr8. I guess I'll finally see you at some point. Today is my last day of isolation. Of course, we have a double together. I hope you will do well and work through this task that I've set you. So we're going to talk about cylinders today. So a cylinder is a solid. We see it all the time, like a can of food, certain bottles, pipes. All these things are in a circular shape and they have a volume. They're solid. And they have a circular, what we call a cross section, which is the shape that you've cut. No matter where you cut it, it's going to be a circle. I guess a circular cake is a type of cylinder, just very flat and larger area on top, but it's a flat, short cylinder. Many different types of cylinder we see in containers, etc., all the time. So you probably know. And to find the volume, basically you find the area of the circle, or in the case of a semicircle or a quarter circle, the area of the cross section on the top, which we call A, find it, which is going to be pi r squared, and then we multiply it by the height, which we call h. So the volume V of a cylinder is equal to pi times r squared times the height. All right, so that's for a full cylinder. Again, if it's a half a cylinder, like it's a semicircle on top where you just have to halve it. If it's a quarter of a cylinder, because it's a quarter circle on top, you do a quarter. But the volume is pi times the radius squared times the height of the cylinder in this case here. Now, the volume is given in cubic centimeters or cubic meters. All right, area is square meters or square centimeters. Volume is cubic meters or cubic centimeters. It's how much space does it take up. It's important to know. And another conversion that we want to be aware of, to go from capacity, which we measure in liters and milliliters, we go to volume, which is cubic centimeters. The key conversion is this. I'll talk more about that when I see you. But it's 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter. Right? And another one that you can take from this is to say, well, 1 liter is equal to 1,000 because there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So 1,000 cubic centimeters is 1 liter, right? So that may come up as we go along. So let's have a look at some examples together. So remembering this, V is equal to pi times r squared times h. Here's the first one. Nice and big. I didn't realize how big it was. All right, let's have a look. So number 1, we've got a cylinder here. The height is what? Well, it's 35. That's my height. What's the 10? The 10 is the size, gives me the size of the circle, which is my radius. So the volume is equal to the area of the circle times the height. So it's going to be pi times the radius, which is 10 squared, times the height. I'll write it above here in blue. V is equal to pi times r squared times h. All right, we don't need to write the multiplication signs, but we will anyway, pi r squared h. Now, if we work that out, we'll be able to say what that is. Oh, sorry, it's not h, it's 35. My mistake. Times 35, which is our height. And so that is equal to, now I've recognized I don't have my calculator right with me, so I'm going to have to jump over and fill that in, but I'll put the answers in a second. But we type into our calculator, and we do that. Okay, so that's going to be equal to that one.